Welcome to a DK Custom Products video. My name is Kevin, this is Dwayne, and today we're going to be talking about the most popular mods for a Dyna.
Now these are the most popular DK custom modifications for the Dyna models. Based on a report we ran over the past 12 months, our best sellers for Dyna models. So we'll start with the very first one, and I think this item is in every list we do. We've done a Sportster list like this, we've done a touring model list, we'll put links to those videos up in the corner above, but people seem to love those tank lifts. And the most popular for the Dynas is the 2.5, but proceed with caution because the Dynas, what size you can use and how much clearance you have, that varies. A lot of bikes, for some reason, it's particularly the Dynas, some of them can use a 2-inch, some of them can't. But then some of those that cannot use the 2-inch can use the 2.5 or 3. So it's just the angle of the backbone and kind of geometries when you lift that tank to kind of
what kind of handlebars you have and what you have hanging off the handlebars.
Right. But regardless, any and all clearance issues can be avoided by checking for clearance prior to placing an order for any size tank lift, regardless of what model Harley you have.
The second most popular mod for a Dyna is the external breather system with the catch can. Now we have an entire selection of external breather systems, some with catch cans, some without, but the ones with the catch can are the most popular. If you don't know what an external breather system is, we'll put a video up in the corner here about what an external breather system is.
That's right.
But it will help your bike last longer, it'll help it run better, it'll keep the tune more stable. There's a lot of reasons for an external breather system.
And they're all immediate benefits. So there's an immediate benefit on longevity of that bike, and they're not making any more Dynas, so if you want it to last a while, it's a good measure to take. Now, the third one, the Coil Relocation Kit. Now, on the twin cam models like the Dyna and the Softail, the coil is in a compromised location. It's back there hidden behind that rear cylinder. It's blocking airflow. You want that flow of air to go around that rear cylinder where it's most starving. You have an air-cooled engine, get more air to it. So the coil's back there blocking it, and our relocation kit moves it up between the cylinders on the left side, pretty much where your cowbell horn would be.
And Harley's done that. Look at, Harley used to put, as Dwayne said, they used to put the coil right beside the rear cylinder at the back where it blocks the wind from going around. They did it on the Dynas and the Softails. Well, when Harley came out with the M8 Softails, they didn't do that anymore. Right. Of course, they killed the Dyna, but they learned by putting that right there, it's blocking the flow of air around that rear cylinder. Number 4 are the Outlaw High Flow Air Cleaners. And the most popular with the Dyna is the 587. Second most popular is the 606. Third most popular is the V-Stack. And then after that, the 636V, and then the 828. There's lots of cover options, but with the Dyna, the most popular options are the Sano Black and the Wrinkle Black covers.
And the 587 is the lowest profile air cleaner on the market. And if you guys ever ridden a Dyna with forward controls, it's not a big frame bike. So if you have forward controls, your legs are a little close to that engine. So you need all the leg clearance you can get. And that's what the 587 gets you. So it's no surprise that's number 1. And then on to the 5th item on the list, probably our flagship product, the product we're probably most known for at this point, the Thunder Torque inserts.
So Thunder Torque inserts are an exhaust insert that stop reversion and increase exhaust gas velocity. We have a whole video we'll put in a corner about why exhaust gas velocity is so important, but the short of it is, the faster you can get the exhaust out, the faster you can get a fresh intake charge in, your engine will run cooler, it will run stronger, and it will run more efficiently with a full fresh charge in. That can only be accomplished if you have unrestricted exhaust that also does not have reversion.
That's right.
And that's what the Thunder Torque inserts provide, is when you're running a free-flowing exhaust, it's going to have reversion unless you put a Thunder Torque insert in there. If you've got your stock exhaust, you're going to have reversion unless you put a Thunder Torque insert in there. So a lot of people, when they go to make their Harley sound better by opening up the exhaust, they then suffer a drop in power.
Yeah.
Because they have all that reversion, and the Thunder Torque insert is what takes care of that. The next item is are the rocker lockers. Rocker lockers, the twin cams have a ticking issue because of the poor machining, the space between the rocker shaft and the bolt that's going in that holds that rocker shaft in place. And we'll put up a little photo here of those bolts with witness marks on it, where you can see that rocker shaft's been going back and forth ticking
and that's from
against those bolts.
Right, and like you said, that's from poor machining, but it can also be due to miles, just time the bike's been out there. And you know, there's no new Dynas out there. They all have some years on them, so a lot of them are due for the rocker lockers.
So the rocker lockers get rid of that ticking.
Yeah. And then the next item on the list, number 7, the oil filter relocation kit. Now I'm gonna say something. I hope none of you guys get offended by this, even you, Kevin. The Dyna models, they're not yuppie bikes. They're not baggers or trikes. You know, these are guys that are very matter of fact. These are guys that probably work on their own bikes. So these are guys that are going to find the oil filter relocation very beneficial and very convenient in servicing their own bikes, because you go in the service department at a local dealership, you don't see many Dynas in there. You know, that's regular guys that got those in the shop, you know, doing their own wrenching on those bikes. So this list, you'll notice a lot of those are just matter of fact, just straight to the point modifications that improve the riding experience that someone who's mechanically inclined would find particularly enjoyable.
Right, and so not only does the oil filter relocation make it much easier to change the oil, it also gets that oil filter out in the wind to run a little cooler. And here's the other thing is that we have an option to get a permanent or performance cleanable oil filter as an option with the oil filter relocation. And for Dynas, almost everybody who buys an oil filter relocation also chooses the option to get a permanent or cleanable performance oil filter to go with that.
That's right. Now, when I said the Dynas aren't for yuppie guys, I mean it's not for like orthodontists or lawyers or, you know, things like that, where people just have an abundant amount of money. So the next item on the list is the VEDS, which are, and it's not up for debate, the most cost-effective way to tune your bike, the most cost-effective way to achieve fuel enrichment.
And we have a whole video on how the VEDS work. We'll put it up in the corner here. But as Dwayne said, there's nothing that gets you from the 2-lane factory AFR on your Dyna than the VEDS.
Right, just a little more than $100 and that bike is tuned.
And number 9 are the Stealth Adjustable Highway Peg Mounting Kits. And that is because, as you said earlier, these are not a large frame bike. And so getting those feet out there and being able to stretch out when you're doing some interstate riding or when you're just tooling around, those things are very valuable. They're adjustable. Most highway pegs are not adjustable. These you can, I think they have 10 different adjustment positions. With
different spacing options, add-on spacers. And here's the thing, the Dyna's a very sporty model, and a lot of these Dynas are out here with mid controls. So, you know, regardless if you prefer forwards or mids, you prefer comfort. So if you have mids and you want to stretch your legs out, the only way to do that is with highway pegs, and that's exactly what the Stealth Adjustables give you. Now, number 10, and I'm surprised this is number 10. This should be higher on the list. These are the Intimidator valves with the spring combo. And so a lot of people, the Intimidator valves optimize the valving in your front forks. And they're very easy to install once you get to the point of installation. Now, on a bagger, that means interfering out of the way, all this and all that, getting the forks off. You know, there's so much to the installation on a bagger that's not even in the cards on a Dyna. On a Dyna, you can have these installed in less than an hour.
Right, and a Dyna they install basically the same as a Sportster, and we have a whole video we'll put up in the corner of us installing them on Mitch's Sportster.
And man, you just get the spring out, you drop the valve in, drop the new spring in, and a lot of people do supplement the Intimidator valves with new springs, because while you're in there, you might as well upgrade the springs as well.
And of course with Dynas, a lot of people do stunt riding with Dynas, and it's a little bit different person who rides a Dyna.
They ride fast, they also stop fast, so they have a problem with brake dive unless you optimize the valving with the Intimidators.
And so the Intimidators really optimize that. They get rid of that brake dive, and they make it a much more stable and fun bike to ride.
That's right. Now, those are just the top 10 best sellers based on, a report we ran over the past 12 months. But, there's a lot of parts people like. Our foot pegs, our flat knuckle foot pegs in particular. I'm surprised it didn't make the list. I sell a pair of those almost every week to a person with a Dyna. But man, if you guys have any questions at all about any of these parts, you can always shoot us an email or give us a call. In the upcoming video, we're going to do the M8 soft tails.
And then after the M8 soft tails, we're going to do the trike. And then that will be the end of this series of what are the most popular mods per what has actually sold in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
Then we're going to do a series where we put down what our favorite mods are.
For sure.
So if I still had a Dyna, what would I choose for my first 10 mods that I would do on a Dyna?
So be sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe so you can be updated when the next videos come out. Now, if you have any questions at all about anything you've seen in this video, leave us a comment below or shoot me an email to support@dkcustomproducts.com.
Y'all ride safe out there.